Hi and welcome to Terry Talks Movies. This time around I've got the haul for this month from Umbrella Entertainment. A whole bunch of horror films, science fiction movie, the deluxe edition of Caligula, and a few films that I haven't seen before, and I've watched 2 of them today, and I can heartily recommend them. So let's get started. First off with the South Korean horror film with a bit of erotic obsession in it, because who doesn't love that? It's a movie about which I know nothing, because my depth of knowledge about South Korean cinema is not extensive, but I'm willing to learn, and these kind of editions enable me to do so. By the way, all of these are the collector's editions. There are standard editions you can get from the usual sources or directly from Umbrella Entertainment, but the collector's editions you can only get from Umbrella. And this one is called The Isle, which is an interesting film from what I understand, about a couple in an isolated area. It's got sex workers and horror and all sorts of things in it. Don't know a lot about it, and I want to go in on a cold when I eventually do watch it. The box art on this is fantastic by Colin Murdoch. There's your front cover, of course. There's your back cover. Beautiful artwork. I love this stuff. And in this box set, you get a 48-page book with behind-the-scenes experiences and art. Now, we got the artwork by Colin Murdoch, 8 replica lobby cards, an A3 reversible poster. This is a limited edition of 500 copies, and it's region B only. So we've got that. Then we've got this booklet which has a whole bunch of essays and production art in it, and also how the artwork for the cover was made. And I love that because Umbrella does that a lot. They really highlight the artwork that they get made for these editions. So there's the booklet with some beautiful art on it too. I love that. There are, as I said, a number of essays in it, and there are some production stills from the movie. And I'll enjoy reading through those. I usually read through those after I watch the movie. So if you want a bit of a tip, don't read the booklet until after you've seen the movie, because it's going to have spoilers in it. And if the movie does, after you watch it, kind of bewilder you a little bit, it's going to contextualize it really nicely. I'll also give you the special features before I show you the art cards. Special features, an audio commentary of Piers Conran and James Marsh. James Marsh has been talking about Asian cinema for a long time. He's a journalist working out of Hong Kong. Lovely guy. I've had a couple of things to do with James. And he is really knowledgeable and a nice person apart from that. There's a video essay by Nadine Whitney, the making of The Isle featurette, making of the soundtrack featurette. The director Kim Ki-duk, his films and The Isle. Lee Sung-yae on Kim Ki-duk, and an interview with the cast and crew. So there's the card off the back. I always slip these into the hard boxes for these when I put them on the shelves, because they're easy to get lost and easy to get folded accidentally when they're on the shelves. Now we'll take a look at the art cards now. And by the way, based on these art cards, the cinematography on these is extraordinarily good. There's the first one. Again, that beautiful use of shallow depth of field. Now, I've got to be careful because there are a couple of art cards I'm going to show you in this particular video, which I'm not going to show you. But there's that one. Yeah, when I get to Caligula, I'm going to be very careful about what I show you. Otherwise, Auntie YouTube is going to throw a fit. There's another one. Beautifully framed cinematography as well. That's lovely. And that as well. Someone should make that their Tinder profile. So we've got all that. We haven't got to the disc yet. The disc is in a slipcase, which has the same artwork as the hard case. There's the original alternative artwork. By the way, these are the reversible covers to get rid of this little thing here. Like I said, reversible covers, and there's the disc itself. It's on Blu-ray. And of course, we get the A3 posters, which are reversible, with that artwork on it, and also that wonderful Colin Murdoch artwork. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I would have watched it today, except I already watched 2 movies today, and I really didn't have the hours to do everything I wanted to do. But that's going to the top of the pile. I really want to watch that. Haven't watched a South Korean movie since the last time Umbrella sent me one. So I'm looking forward to checking that one out and just knowing as little as possible, going into it and going on the ride. The next one I watched this morning, it's directed by a guy called Scott Spielberg. It's a late 1980s slasher film. And the cast is pretty good. You get a little bit of Bruce Campbell in there. You get Sam Raimi and his brother Ted as two of the characters. It's a one-location slasher film called Intruder. And there's the back cover. Always like a good punny back cover. Now again, this is the collector's edition, but there is a standard edition as well. Inside you get a 48-page book including essays by Alexandra Helen Nicholas and Heather Drain with behind-the-scenes experience and art. Both of those writers are fantastic. Custom art outer ridge and slipcase by Johnny Smooth Design Company Beckavac. A full reprint of Gore Zone Horror Magazine number 6 from 1989. An A3 reversible poster, limited edition numbered release of 2000. Now, special features, I'll hold those up again for you. We've got an audio commentary with director Scott Spiegel, a video essay by Kat Ellinger, Intruder trailer newly edited by Scott Spiegel, The Blind Waiter, a short film he did in 1980, Toro Redux, a short film from 1981, Cleveland Smith Bounty Hunter, a short film from 82, original Intruder work print, outtakes from Night Crew 1979, which was a short film upon which Intruder was based, extended murder sequence from Night Crew Intruder work print, original Night Crew trailer, original Intruder theatrical trailer, Attack of the Helping Hand short film. So you get a lot of short films in this as well, which is kind of cool. So there's the card again. I'll show you the Gore Zone magazine because this is a full reproduction of a horror magazine from 1989. Can't show you all of it, but I can show you the cover and a few other things. There it is there. There's a back cover with horror mask advertising on it. Where's the page that I can't show you? They're too gory. And there's the article about Intruder from the magazine. But it is the complete magazine, including the ads and everything. Fantastic little reproduction there and a nice additional piece for the release. We also have a book with essays and other information in it. Little Shop of Horrors, Alexandra Helen Nicholas. Let's see what else we've got. And posters from the movie as well. So lots of stuff there. And then we get to the slipcover art. That's fantastic. I like that design. Walnut Grove Market, half off, best meat in town. Now, the story's pretty simple. It's about a group of people who work in a supermarket at night time. The supermarket, they just announced that it's being sold and closing down. And then as the night crew are working in the supermarket, a killer starts slashing them to pieces and killing them. And one of the suspects is an ex-boyfriend of one of the checkout chicks. And things get very gory from there. It's got some really interesting actors in it. Emil Sitka, who was in 1940s screwball comedies in Hollywood, turns up as one of the customers. I said Sam Raimi, Ted Raimi, Bruce Campbell turning up as a cop. And the one thing to know about this movie, above all else, apart from all of the gore, it has a killer ending. The ending lands perfectly, and it doesn't end like a standard slasher movie ending. So there's the alternative artwork inside. Again, a reversible cover without the censorship classification there. This one is Region B. Here's the disc itself. And of course, we do get a poster because you always get a poster. Yeah, that artwork, or if you prefer a 1980s VHS cover style of artwork, you get that one as well. But yeah, Intruder impressed me. The cinematography is great. There's some good direction. The gore effects are as good as it gets in the 1980s. They're a little much for some people, but they're still rock solid. The acting's good. The cinematography is fantastic. The lighting is great. It just works. I think it's a real hidden gem. More than a lot of other slasher films of the time, it just works. And the mystery of who is the slasher and the ending of the movie, which takes the normal tropes at the end of these kind of slasher films and totally throws them in the bin, is really great. High recommend from me if you're into that kind of thing. And it's the time of year when people watch a lot of these kind of films. Next up, I've got one which Middle-Aged Geek Girl has watched these movies, but I haven't. They're found footage horror films. And again, I know very little about them. There are 4 movies, all in a linked series. And it's got a lenticular cover. And I've got friends who will get anything that's got a lenticular cover. It's a limited edition of 5,000 copies of House LLC, the complete series. Now, this one is Region B. There's 4 discs on this. I'll show you the back and I will freeze frame that for you to take a look at it. I won't go through all the extras because there are a lot of them on this one. I'll show you the art cards first, if I can possibly. A lot of these art cards are, posters. So there's that one. More bloody clowns. After watching Terrifier 3 yesterday, I'm a little bit over clowns right now, even though I did enjoy that movie. That looks like somebody's Facebook photo. And that one. And on the back cover, there's your lenticular cover, which is kind of groovy. And on the back, more bloody clowns. We've actually got a hardcover book about this. The Unbearable Lightness of House LLC by Alex Ella Nicholas. You've got to like her titles on things, they're fantastic. And this is a fairly substantial one. Lots of interviews and other extra material, so it's definitely worth getting the upgrade to the collector's edition if you can. The Haunting of America by Jim Morton. I always like it when people say haunted houses and the haunting of things. They don't really get haunted, it doesn't exist. And let's go into the movies themselves. House LLC, the first movie. He said holding it all right up the wrong way. And we've got a plane going over. There's the inside with the clown on the disc. And we get a poster, of course. Not the sort of poster you have on the wall first time you take your girlfriend home with you. Unless you've got a very unusual girlfriend. Let you in on a secret. Half of the time I have the camera recording is me putting things back into boxes. It's just the way things are here. Hell House Origins, the Carmichael Manor. There's that one. More clownage. Big poster. Hell House 2 and 3. Everybody loves a clown, so why don't you? And there's no poster on this one, but that's kind of okay because it was on the other poster I just showed you. So yeah, I'm going to dip into these at some stage, but I'm not quite sure when. I've got to be in the right mood for found footage horror. I find it can be a little bit hit and miss. So the good thing about this is I've got 4 movies here, so I can dip into one of them and then dip into the other ones a bit later on. You don't have to binge everything all at once with these kind of things. So there's that. The cover of that book is particularly disturbing. Then we've got the other movie, which I just finished watching before I recorded. It's a Spanish horror film from the late 1990s, directed by Alejandro Amenabar, who also did Open Your Eyes, the movie on which Vanilla Sky was based. And it's a movie he made before that, and it's called Thesis, which is a good, creepy Spanish horror film. It stars Anna Torrent as a university student who's studying media and is studying violent media and violent movies. And she stumbles on a snuff film, which causes her thesis supervisor to die of a asthma attack when he sees it. He didn't know it was there. He found it in a hidden place at the university. He watched it and he died. And she goes on this journey of trying to find out what went on and becoming both the final girl in a horror movie and also the detective investigating it, along with a weird guy who may or may not be the killer. So there's so much good stuff in this. You get a 48-page book, including a Q&A with the actor Eduardo Noriega. 48-page book, including a Q&A with star actor Eduardo Noriega. New essays with David Michael Brown and Nadine Whitney, and a behind-the-scenes experience and art. New custom art outer cover by Johnny Smooth Design Co. Bekovac. New custom artwork slipcase by Johnny. 8 replica lobby cards, a reversible poster, a limited edition of 2,500. The audio commentary, and I'll show you that and I'll freeze that for us. Audio commentary with the director, audio commentary with Alexandra Helen Nicholas, director's introduction, Touching Death, an interview with Alejandro Amenabar. Don't Look, a video essay by Dr. Josh Nelson, a making of featurette, deleted scenes, a short film hymenoptero by the director, and a Spanish theatrical trailer. So there's a lot there. And I'll talk about the movie itself once I've shown you this stuff. There's the front cover of the hard case, and there's the back cover. These Sony cameras that you see there in that, it's got to be the worst product placement ever, because they've got a specific kind of high-8 video camera that's used by the people making the snuff films, and it happens to be a Sony. So I'm pretty sure Sony aren't really fond of the product placement in this movie. I'll show you the art cards next. By the way, this is in 4K and Blu-ray. There's the heroine Angela in a tight situation. There's Angela and Kima, the guy who's helping her. There's another one of Angela. Very 1990s setup there. Remember when people had beards like that? We also get a booklet, which has the essay by Nadine in it, and I've read the essay and it's very good. It really, I read it immediately after I watched the movie and I went, yep, I could see all of that. There it is there. And here is the slipcover with some other artwork, alternative. What colour are my eyes? She's wondering they're brown. There's the inside with the 4K disc there. There's your 4K. There's your Blu-ray. And of course, this being a 4K, it is region free because all 4Ks are region free. There's one poster with the alternative local artwork there. Yeah, watch this one, kind of lunchtime today. And it's a good thriller. The escalation's great. The main character's interesting because she's kind of naive and there are a lot of threatening men around her and she's got to kind of find her own strength when there is not only her new supervisor on the thesis who doesn't agree with the way she's doing it or what her subject is. It's got a real feel. One of the things that gave me the vibe of is Crimson Rivers. It's got that hidden mystery aspect that felt a little bit like the Crimson Rivers movies. But yeah, this one, it really impressed me. If you can't afford to get the collector's edition and you're into horror films, and horror films that don't necessarily have a supernatural aspect to them and aren't particularly gory but are quite vivid, you want to get this in some format because it really rocks. Yes, it is in Spanish with subtitles, but it's a beautifully done, very accomplished horror film, which I recommend. I really enjoyed it, and I didn't get all of the twists that were happening, which I like. I like a movie that still is as smart as I am. And the cinematography is great. The way video is used is particularly on point. I'd heard good things about it and I tried not to hear or read too much about it before I saw it. But it works. And you should watch it in whatever way you can. We're down to the last two now. I've got another edition of this one. It came out on a fairly bare bones edition a number of years ago. It's an Australian-made science fiction movie about time loops. It stars Melissa George, Liam Hemsworth, the lesser Hemsworth, and Michael Dorman. It's called Triangle. By the way, that cover art is killer good. And on the back it says, "Fear comes in waves." It's about a single mother who is struggling financially and she gets a chance to go on a boat ride on a yacht owned by some very rich people, and she's very much out of her depth. She's on a date with a guy who's one of the people on the boat, and they go out to sea and they hit a storm and the boat capsizes and they're all stuck on the hull of the boat. And then out of nowhere an ocean liner comes past and they grab hold of the ladder and get onto the ocean liner, And then things get worse. They find out that various parts of the ocean liner loop back in time, and the time loops aren't necessarily going to lead you back into your own past. They're time loops to create new realities and new universes, and time splits off. And the young woman just played by Melissa George is being chased by something with a shotgun, and she doesn't know why, and the other people start getting killed off by this thing. It just leads into just as backstory as much as anything else, and the script is fantastic. It's kind of unlike many other time loop movies. Time Crimes is probably the one people will make a parallel to, and there are a couple of slight borrowings from Time Crimes, but this one itself is fantastically well made. We have some art cards. There's a shotty. There's Melissa George and other characters in this ship. There's the mysterious character with the shotgun. I'm not going to give you that one because it's a spoiler. There she is being stalked by the creature. There are the people on the boat after it capsized. Melissa George is fantastic in this film, by the way. There's that. And there's that. A lot of special features on this one as well. You get a 48-page booklet with essays by Anton Bettel, Guy Davies and David Michael Brown. The hard case, 8 art cards, A3 reversible poster, limited edition of 1500. Get in and get this one if you can. Special features are all there. There's a lot of them, so I'll freeze frame that one for you and play some music. We also get a booklet, and I kind of like the artwork there. And again, I'm trying not to do spoilers, but this one was made in Australia, but the main creative guy behind it is Christopher Smith, who went on to do a whole bunch of other things after this. And it's just such a, I keep saying hidden gem and things. This is a hidden gem, and people who've seen it, and I've talked to a few people who've seen this movie, and they go, yeah, I love that film. So it's one of those, yeah, I love that films. Groundhog Day gets referenced, so this punches a lot harder than Groundhog Day ever does. Here's the slipcover with that beautiful original artwork. On the back you've got that symbol, which is important to the movie. There's the other artwork, the other original artwork. This is Region B, by the way, as well. There's your disc and the Blu-ray, and of course we do get the posters. We get that poster and we get that one, both of which are marvelous bits of artwork. Yeah, this one's a high recommend from me. I wish I could talk more about it, but I don't want to get into spoilers. But the denouement, the upshot at the end of the movie, is quite impressive. And it's not quite what we expect. And it adds another level to the horror, let's just put it that way, which I find incredible and brave as well. There are movies that don't go hard on certain kinds of horror, but this one does. And it does it unashamedly and with no fear at all. So if you haven't seen Triangle, at least get the standard edition of this if you can't get the collector's edition, because you'll thank me afterwards. Fantastic film, very underrated. That brings us to the heffalump in the room. This chunky bugger, the ultimate edition of Caligula. This thing weighs a ton. You could use it to bench press. There are so many special features and things on this. I'm going to post a link to the Umbrella Entertainment page for all of these movies, and you can get a lot of the information there. But freeze frame that one for a few seconds so you can grok it yourself if you want to. If you flip it around the other way, and by the way, I like the marble artwork there. It looks like this. That's how thick and chunky this bastard is. We've got a hardcover book about the production itself. with a lot of information there. The cast, including Malcolm McDowell, Helen Mirren, Peter O'Toole's in there, John Gielgud's in there, Teresa Ann Savoy. It was originally made at the behest of Bob Guccione, who ran Penthouse magazine. He wanted to make a classy adult film, and in some ways he succeeded. There are 5 different versions of this movie in this box set, because there were some inserts, and I'll use the word inserts advisedly, added to various kind of editions of this movie, which were hard adult material. One of the things, the Ultimate Cut, there's one version of it called the Ultimate Cut, and the Ultimate Cut recreated the movie using alternative takes of a lot of the scenes. There's stuff in here that hasn't been seen before because it was alternative takes. Now this is in 4K and Blu-ray. There is the 4K cover, and because it's 4K, of course, it is region free. There's those, which are the Ultra HD and the Blu-ray, and the other alternative versions of the movie on Blu-ray. We get a poster because of course we do. We get that one with Malcolm McDowell's smiling visage. And we get that one, which is the one that was on the VHS release of this that I think Roadshow put out back in the day here in Australia, which was very much a bowdlerized edition of it with a lot of stuff cut out. It wasn't very impressive at all. And I found another poster too. It just keeps popping out like rabbits. There's that one, and there's that one. So you don't lack for posters in this particular release. There is a booklet, which is kind of interesting, and I've got to be careful what I do on this, which is a facsimile edition of Penthouse magazine, the issue where they did a lot of stuff, and I can't show you that. Can't show you that. Can't show you that. Where's the? And there's an interview with Bob Guccione about it. That's pretty much what I can show you in this. All of the material from that particular issue of Penthouse magazine that relates to Caligula is in this booklet, along with cigarette and booze ads, just to contextualize things. There are a whole bunch of art cards as well. Here's that. This has got to be the Italian artwork because it's got that Italian style of poster on it. The original script for it was written by Gore Vidal, so this is called Gore Vidal's Caligula there. Alternative artwork. It was directed by Tinto Brass, and if you know sleazy cinema of the late 20th century, you know Tinto Brass. Yes, I can show you that. There's that. Can I show you the Japanese poster? I'm going to be careful and go, hang on. Yes, I can. And there's that one. But that ain't all. This is an incredibly detailed collector's edition because Caligula, the screenplays, there are different screenplays of it and a novelization. That thing. It is the thick and the heavy part of this, and it's impressive how much there. There's the 1975 draft screenplay, there's a 1976 draft screenplay, and there's a novelization of the whole movie by William Howard. There, inside the screenplay, novelization. Umbrella keeps trying to do a hold my beer on everybody else with these kind of releases. They're putting out stuff with such detailed and unexpected extras in them that I'm incredibly impressed that A, they get the material in such good quality, like finding the Penthouse magazine and then culling all the stuff of interest to people who like the movie Caligula. On top of that, I think it's incredible that they've done this. And then they, of course, get not only the hardcover booklet about the movie, but 2 screenplays and a novelization and all the art cards and all the rest of it. Very impressive. I know people who are really into the collector's editions as artifacts of themselves, let alone just being versions of the movie. And people are blown away by this. People are stunned by the level of detail in this one and how much it gives you everything you could possibly need to know about this particular movie. Now, as to the movie itself, the version I've seen is the really cut down VHS version. I saw that back in the day. And it was impressive in parts, but not impressive in other parts. So I'm looking forward to looking at the Ultimate Cut. People tell me it's significantly different than the version I've seen. And there, of course, there's more artwork on the back. There's a point at which a release like this becomes more than just a movie. It becomes a work of art. It becomes a library about the movie. And this edition of Caligula is a library about a movie, apart from having 5 different versions of the movie. It's incredibly detailed, incredibly complex. You can spend a week looking through this stuff. I probably won't because I've got other things to do, but I'll definitely watch the Ultimate Cut because I want to see a movie like this, which has had a lot of cultural interest over the decades since it was made. And I want to see the best possible version of it. And I believe, from what I'm told, the Ultimate Cut delivers that. And it's got the approval of Malcolm McDowell, apart from anybody else, and a number of other people who worked on it. So, totally happy with that. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll probably learn things. So that's what I've got for you at the moment. Incredible collector's editions from Umbrella Entertainment. And thanks again to Umbrella for giving me these to review. You go from found footage horror to Spanish horror to American slasher films of the 80s to Caligula, which has got all that cultural cachet, and Triangle, which is a really deep cut. Fantastic stuff. Perfect for the month of Halloween. That stuff is just impressive to me. And the fact they put all this out in one month is even more impressive. So that's what I got for you this time around. Thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit like and subscribe. Just hit the like button and subscribe if you want to. But definitely hit the like button because that matters a lot to YouTube taking notice of what I do. You can also support the channel by becoming a channel member or by becoming a patron at patreon.com/TerryTalksMovies. I just dropped one of my driving vlog videos for the patrons, and that's not going to be on the main channel for another 2 weeks, where I talk about going to see Terrifier 3 yesterday. And next up, of course, we've got Science Fiction Saturday, and I've got a couple of interesting ones for that. So until then, watch some good movies, don't watch some bad movies, get yourself some Caligula, and I'll catch you next time.